What's going on, guys? Welcome back to All MMA. This is a special card for the UFC. Whoever thought the UFC would be going to the White House, man? It's a huge card for them. I'm excited to do picks. This card's a banger. The most annoying thing is the start time. Sunday? 1 AM for me? Or even Monday at 1 AM even. That's ridiculous, bro. What is that? I guess it is an event for Americans. I'll do a fight companion like I usually do, because I'm on that grind. Let's get into my picks for this card. Alright, the first fight of the night, and it's a banger. Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. I understand why they put this fight here, because both these guys are finishers. Nasty knockout artists for featherweights. Very tall featherweights too. I'm telling you, man, the new generation of fighters are just taller. Both these guys had great runs in the UFC. Built up massive win streaks until Diego Lopes lost to Volk. It was on a one-fight win streak to Gene Silva, which is a great win, but he's coming off the loss in the second fight to Volk back in February, I want to say. Steve Garcia coming off a streak of knockouts. I think maybe a decision over Calvin Cater, but his last win was a very quick half-round knockout over David Onama. My pick for this fight is going to be Diego Lopes, but I think everyone's realistically picking Diego to win. Steve Garcia's got a punch chance. He's a heavy hitter for featherweight. He's not some small guy like Volk. Volk's really not got that massive punch power to knock people out, but he's very technical. He's the most technical featherweight there's ever been. In my opinion, he's good everywhere. Unlike both of these guys are strikers. They both have wrestling, they both have grappling. Power for power, I think Diego Lopes hits harder. He also has a better chin. Diego Lopes has an absolute block chin. Gene Silva was hitting him with everything he had, and he couldn't get him out of there. I'll go with Diego Lopes to win a decision. I don't think either of these guys is getting knocked out, but I think it's going to be a scrap. I think it's a very strategic move to put him as the first fight of the night. Bo Nickel versus Kyle Daukaus. Everyone's doubting Kyle Daukaus in this fight, but what has Bo Nickel really done to say that he's that much better? He's got less experience, less wins, less losses, but Kyle Daukaus is 17-4-1. 17-4 is a great overall record. Got to 8-1. The one loss being to RDR. Then he bounced back against Rodolfo Vieira with the head kick. Rodolfo Vieira is literally an Eric McConaughey victim. No good. That's not a good win. Kyle Daukaus has come back. He slimed out who subbed GM3. GM3's the submission guy. He subbed him. He knocked out Miguel Pereira, who's a knockout artist. Right? He's taller. He's got the reach. Just about. I think he's going to win. I'm going to pick Kyle Daukaus. Everyone's saying Bo Nickel by submission or decision, but I think Kyle Daukaus can slime him. I'm not going to lie, I think the experience is going to carry him. The two different runs in the UFC are going to carry him, because he once in the UFC before, got cut and came back and has been on the run he's been on. Earned himself a spot on this card. It's honestly the weakest fight in the card. I think it'll still be a good one though. It's not a bad fight. I'm going to go with Kyle Daukaus by, do I say knockout? I'm going to get bullied in the comments for this one. I'm going to say he's going to win by knockout. Maybe Bo Nickel's still chinny to the body. Yeah, Kyle Daukaus. Body shot via knees. TKO in the second. The IDR method is not patched. Alright, next fight. Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. It's probably going to be one of the easiest fights to pick on the card. Unless Chandler lands a bomb on Rufy's chin and knocks him out. I don't see that happening though. I think Mauricio Rufy is like a Walmart Conor McGregor. I think he can snipe Michael Chandler with that right hand. I think it's his right hand he sets up most of his heavy shots with. That's what kind of makes him a Walmart McGregor. Because McGregor used to have his left hand. I think Rufy's got a right hand. They fight very similarly. I think the UFC kind of teased Michael Chandler a bit by giving him a fake McGregor, teaming McGregor. I know McGregor has the whole way fight, but it is what it is. It's the MMA game. Michael Chandler shouldn't have sat and waited, because he's now old. He's now 40, 23-10, 2-6 in the UFC. It's not great. I'm going to go with Mauricio Rufy by KO in the very first round. I was going to say second, but I think it's going to be first. I think he's going to snipe him, take his head off, finish him quickly with spinning shit. I don't think Michael Chandler's really faced anyone that can spin or do crazy spinning shit like a McGregor or a Rufy can. Or even a Holloway can. I think Holloway would do nasty things to Chandler. I think Holloway would beat Rufy. But yeah, Mauricio Rufy wins over Michael Chandler. He's fighting down in the rankings. Chandler gets to fight up again. Dynamite privilege. Yeah, so far not a great night for the Americans, I don't think. They'll be 1-2 to Brazil. Josh Hockett versus Derek Lewis. I like both of these guys, but I do prefer Derek Lewis, and that's kind of the whole reason I'm picking him to win this fight. The whole thing with his weight being weird last fight, he bulked up to 300 pounds, had to cut loads, and they kind of quit against Waldo. So they just noticed the fight kits are just the regular fight kits. I really hope the website doesn't change them to the American ones, because I'd be kind of pissed off I didn't do the video with the American ones, but it's what it is. I like Josh Hockett. He's growing on me. He's got good personality for heavyweight. A lot of the fighters in the UFC these days are quite boring, so it's good to see someone with a personality like him. He's a good fighter too. Beat Curtis Blades. Lewis' last fight was Waldo. He got slimed out. TKO'd. Finally quit on himself, which that's something Blades didn't do. That's why Hockett didn't get him out of there. Blades didn't quit on himself. Lewis kind of does sometimes, but I like Derek Lewis, man. See him get almost naked on the White House lawn would kind of be very funny. Come on, agree, please. So I'm going to pick Derek Lewis to win by knockout. Maybe it's a ball knowledge pick if it happens. So let's Josh Hockett back a bit. But, Josh Hockett's very fast. He's got insane hand speed. I think he can just probably run through Derek Lewis in a round. But no, Derek Lewis is going to catch him on his way in. Puts him to sleep. overhand maybe, like to Taliesin to share and knock that tower straight over. But no, Talison's not that great. I'm gonna pick Derek Lewis, KO in the first round. Catches Josh Hokett with something as Josh Hokett's trying to blitz him. Alright, the featured fight, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. Zahabi's on a massive win streak, like 8 fights, which is kind of crazy. But the win streak is kind of ass. The best wins are like Jose Aldo, which he arguably robbed, and Chito Vera, who he arguably robbed. Whereas O'Malley's coming off a win over Song Yadong from back in January. I think he's a more active fighter right now. I think he's found that like love for the sport again now that Merab isn't champion. He already has a win over the current champion, Oriane, and I think he wants that fight, and I think he'll get that fight if he beats Ayman Zahabi. I'm not trying to see an Ayman Zahabi title shot as much as I like Ayman Zahabi. I just think Peter Yan will completely outclass him and finish him in the first couple of rounds. I think O'Malley can make it competitive over 5. Maybe lose the decision. But I think Sean O'Malley has a real chance to beat Peter Yan again. He did it once. Arguable robbery. I don't think it was. I think the Song Yadong fight was more a robbery than the Peter Yan fight. But I think he won both the fights. Come at me, man. Come at me on that. I like Sean O'Malley. I like Ayman Zahabi. Not much bias. I'm fully just going off MMA skill set. I think O'Malley's better almost everywhere. So I'm going to see who's going to get the TKO in the 3rd round. Maybe a nice walk-off KO. Put some damage on him, Zahabi. You know? Breaks his legs down. Just crazy spinning shit that Zahabi doesn't have. Zahabi's like an unk boxer. Kind of just plods forward. Throws his shots. But yeah, O'Malley's going to get the KO TKO 3rd round. I think it's a pretty solid pick. The co-main event for the interim heavyweight title. Silgan does not deserve to be fighting for it. I thought he did to Ram Aspinall, but it's fine. Is what it is. Watch him get slimed out by Pereira will be nice. Yeah, he's fighting Alex Pereira. Coming off the very quick win over Magomed Ankalaev. Slimed him out, got his title back and went, I'm out. Now he's fighting up a heavyweight. Very similar records. There's not much in terms of experience difference. There isn't any. Other than the fact that Zolgan's had loads of Muay Thai fights, but then again, Alex Pereira's had loads of kickboxing fights at a much higher level. Gan might try grapple, but I think Alex Pereira has great grappling. But he just hasn't got to show it really. To be fair, I think he's a black belt. I think both these guys might be black belts in Jiu-Jitsu. We'll just see how it goes, though. I will pick Alex Pereira to win this fight. A huge chunk of it's bias. I don't like Silgan. We saw what he did to Aspinall. Like, fuck off. Fuck you, Silgan. Genuinely. If I had to pick a fighter I hate on this roster, it's Silgan. He's so arrogant, stuck up. Just classic French behaviours. Alex Pereira, who I like a lot. He's one of my favourite fighters. He's not my top 10 favourite fighters, I won't list him there, but I'm a very big fan of Pereira. I was very happy when he got the belt back, because we're having Magomed Ankalaev as a champion. I don't want Ulberg as a champion, man. I'd rather have Paulo Costa as the fucking like heavyweight champion than Ulberg or Ankalaev. Honestly, Silgan looked good in the Aspinall fight until he cheated. Put his baguettes in Tom's eyes, and then he kind of robbed Volkov. It's as simple as that. I want Alex Pereira to win. I'm going to say Silgan gets KO'd in the 3rd round. Just some nasty, like, catches him on the chin, sends him straight down, hammer fists, reminiscent of the Jamal Hill KO. It'll be an early finish or a middle of the fight finish for Pereira. The main event of this historic, crazy card, UFC Freedom 250, ends off with a bang. It's Ilia Topuria takes on Justin Gaethje, and I think we all know what my prediction is going to be for this fight. Topuria by KO. First couple of minutes, half a round, if that needed. Yeah, Topuria's going to get a slime out. Another one. He said he's going to do it, and he will do it. I have to now just put my full faith into Ilia Topuria. Dude's only 29, only just gone into his prime. I think he can win a 3rd belt, but welterweight. I don't care how big Makhachev is. No one could take that big punch. Jonah Martins, whatever his name is, knocked out Makhachev. Ilia can knock out Makhachev, even if it's at 170. It's like, this is a very easy fight to predict. Justin Gaethje's getting slimed. He's going to be sent off into retirement on the White House lawn in front of his family and his country and a lot of rich people who are there watching the card live. It sucks that that's the way Gaethje's going to go out of the sport, but, you know, he won the interim title against Pimblett. He ruined Pimblett versus Topuria. I think we will get to see that fight if Pimblett beats BSD. I honestly see the UFC just sidetracking Arman again, shooting off to the side and booking Topuria versus Pimblett in Spain. They said they're going to Spain. Dana confirmed it. I would honestly love to see that fight. Goodbye, Gaethje. You had a great career. 27-5 is a fantastic MMA career. Lost to the greats like Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, Khabib, Eddie Alvarez. Fucking hell. That's 4 of his 5 losses. Who's the other loss? Oh, Holloway, the my goat, Max Holloway. One of the greatest knockouts, if not the greatest knockout in UFC history, man. That's going to do it for all my picks for this card. It's a banger. Thank you guys for watching my UFC Freedom 255 picks. This card is honestly going to be a banger. Can't wait for it. It's not an awful time, but it's fully American to celebrate America. Donald Trump's 80th birthday. A video coming on Michael Chandler. I know it's his last chance at some point later in the week. See you guys later. Take care. Peace.